All right, my friends, welcome back. So now that we have, understood how to set up a poetry project, what we are going to be doing right now would be to add some of the packages that we will need for our QR code project. Some of the packages would include QR code, Pillow, UUID, and the Faker package from PyPy. So let's proceed to install this by simply entering in our terminal right here, poetry add QR code, Pillow, UUID, and Faker. All right, so the poetry tool would proceed to add this set of packages to our project, and of course you can track the packages that have been added to the project from the pyproject.toml file. All right, so this is currently being updated. Let's give it a few minutes. All right then, so installation is complete, and now you can see we have these packages in the pyproject.toml file. We have Faker, we have UUID with the specific versions that have been installed, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is to try out another command that is used for viewing our dependency tree. So let's simply put in the command poetry show --tree. All right, so this would show us the dependency tree, which basically highlights the packages that have been installed. So you can see this is the dependency tree that we have here. We have Faker, we have Pillow, we have QRCode, and right under those packages you can also see some of the sub packages that were used for the development of those main packages, right? You see we even have the description of those packages, Python HTTP for humans, UUID object and generation functions. We have a Python imaging library, and we also have the Faker package, which is a Python package that generates fake data for you. Now that we have this set of packages installed, we can proceed to write our code. Okay, so we're going to create the main.py file in here, main.py, and we can start by importing some of the packages that we have installed. So let's start by importing QR code. Let's import UUID. Let's import Faker, and we are going to need a couple of inbuilt functions like using paths as well as using datetime. Okay, now let's create an instance of Faker, and let's proceed to create a class that would use for generating our QR code. Okay, we're going to specify the directory that we want this to be saved in. I'm going to just call that QR codes, and we can proceed to set the default output directory. So let's just say output directory equals path output directory. Fix that. Okay, and if it doesn't exist, go ahead to make that. Okay, true. All right, now let's generate a QR code with this function here. So we're going to have self. By default we don't have any data. Okay, and this is where we generate the unique identifier. Okay, and of course we're using our UUID for that, right? So let's pass that as string. We're going to use UUID 4. That is 4, not 45. Okay, all right, so next we're going to use Faker to generate data if none was provided, right? Okay, so we're going to create an object that would be used to generate our QR code. So let's say we have the ID, which happens to be the unique ID. So we have the name. If this record is not passed, we are going to create a fake record here. So we're going to use fake.name. We have the email, and we'll use email. That's fake.email, just like this. Okay, and created at, we'll simply use datetime.now in ISO formats. Okay, all right, so this is what we have. Now let's proceed to create our QR code. So we're going to say QR equals QR code dot QR code, yep, with this function. So we can specify the version. Let's go with the default. Let's set error correction. So if we have an error, so we can simply say this dot constant, just to be sure. That is Q, yep, and that is correction dot. Yeah, so let's see. We have error. Oh, I think I have made a mistake there. So we have error correction equals QRCode. Oh, I see the mistake. So yeah, that should be QRCode, just like this. Dot constant, and yeah, we can basically get this from the IntelliSense. Let's just make sure we're getting that right. So we have the error correction equals QRCode dot constant, right? Yes. Okay, so I think that is it. All right, so we can specify the box size as well. So we can say box size. For the box size, let's simply use 10 for that. And we can also specify if we need the border. So yes, I'm going to specify that I need the border for this. So let's go with 4. Okay, so now I can simply say qarrow.add data, and I would simply add the value that I have inside that data object. So I would simply say let's stringify that and pass the data object. Next, I'm going to say qarrow.make fit equals true, and yeah, so we can actually create a file from there. So let's proceed to say qarrow image. Let's call that qarrow image, yeah, equals qarrow.make image, make image, yeah, just like this. I think that is it, yeah. So we specify the fill. We want to fill a color of black, just to ensure that is correct. Yeah, fill color of black, and the back color. Let's go with the back color. That's a mistake. Back color. I think there should be an underscore here. Okay, so our back color, let's go with white, and we can save the image that we have generated here. So I'm going to call that file name. Let's have a formatted string here. So we have our unique ID .png. Okay. All right. So our file paths, yeah, just like this. Self.output directory. Okay. So yeah, file name, and we have the qarrow image .save. Let's save that to the file path. All right. Okay. So now we have our file saved here. We can simply return the file path. Okay. So let's proceed to use this. Let's execute this function right here. So I'm going to simply say if name equals main. Yeah, main, just like this. Okay, I think I have to. So yeah, we can now say generator equals qarrow generator. Okay, so file path, and this is the file path that I would love to pass here. So I can simply say generator dot generates qarrow, which is a function. Okay, so now remember that if we don't pass in any data right there, it's going to give us random data using faker, and yeah, let's go with that. So I would simply say print. Let's also format what we're printing here. So yeah, I would simply say QRCode. Give me a second. QRCode generated, and of course we'll pass in the file paths, right? Okay, so I want to keep the file paths. Let's close this. I think yeah, that was the mistake there. Okay. All right, so now we have this class with a function in there. So we basically just create a new instance of the class, and we basically call the function within the class, which is generate qarrow. We did not pass in any data, so we expect to see some random data in there. All right, so in order to run this, we can simply say Python QRCode starter /py /main.py, just like this. This would generate our QRCode right here with the UUID as the name of the file. We can also decide to execute this using Poetry. So all we have to do is to call main, just like this. and then we proceed to define main. Okay. All right. So within our Pi project.toml file, we can then use the tool section to create a script. Where we have the start script, for example, which would call that folder the main file and the main function, just like this. All right. So if I proceed to say poetry run start, that would basically execute, and you would see we have another QR code generated in here. So basically, we can scan this QR code to see the value. You can do that from your end, but that is how you end up creating a QR code and running your project using Poetry. All right, so I'll see you in the next video where we are going to be creating a different project, this time around a URL shortener using Poetry, and we're going to test a couple of things like running the test, building the project as a package, as well as exporting the packages installed within that project into a requirement.txt file. We're going to do that in the next project, so I'll see you there.